programs head to Cancun. This game part of the Cancun Challenge here at the school site for New Mexico State. The Aggies will have the first possession here in the white. Samford on the road during this current 10-day stretch. This is their fourth road game during this 10-day stretch. The Aggies starting five, no changes with Mims, Pickens, Visecht, Jones, and Malaga. Corner three is good for Juice Mims. Jason Hooten told him to stop shooting threes last game. He knocks down this one early.
Well, pretty good ball movement by the Aggies. I hope he's not in trouble with the coach.
First made three for Juice this year, who shot him pretty well at Idaho. Booth, Norris, and Norris, the Norris brothers, Wilburn and Faulkner for the Bulldogs, who average 78 points per game. Faulkner catches on the sideline, under 10 to shoot as he goes to work on Malanga. This is Cade Norris, who swings it for Keaton Norris. One on the timer. Fadeaway jumper is good. That's a two-pointer for Keaton Norris with one left on the shot clock.
Well, both of the Norris brothers are very good. As you'll talk about later, they're from a storied Ohio basketball family.
Cade, the younger of the two brothers. It was Keaton, the oldest brother, who just nailed that deep two. Jamel Jones going to work on Cade Norris. Mims grabs the offensive rebound underneath, and he reverses it in.
Well, I think Jason Hooten will be happy to see him do that, I suppose. But he is pretty versatile, Juice Mims.
Mims with all five for New Mexico State. He averages 10 points per game. Wilburn a three. Wide right, cleared by Sear Malanga. Here's Pickens, who weaves inside. Visecht to corner three. He was red hot last weekend.
Feldman took a hard fall, but his wrist seems to be perfectly fine. You don't think that's decorative, that white?
I don't think so. He's shooting 53% from three to start the year. Got a team high 16 last weekend. Post touch for Faulkner. Inside outside to Keaton Norris, and Norris has a handful for Samford.
Well, I think Jason Hooten was a little surprised that Gabe Pickens gave so much help after Keaton Norris obviously proved he can make three-pointers.
Now Mims has proved he can make three-pointers as well. Mims on the roll, bobbled and then pulled away by Wilburn, who leads the break. And he overthrows Cade Norris. Samford only averages 9 turnovers per game, but they only force 11 per game. Meanwhile, New Mexico State's turnover margin, Russ, is +7. They're only committing 12 turnovers per game, but they're forcing 19 a game, which is a really good number in the first three. The Aggies' defensive pressure has been outstanding in the first three games this year. Augustine Ekwe just checked in. As Russ mentioned, he was great last weekend against UNM. So was Jamel Jones, and that slips off, picked up by Faulkner. Here's Booth, 24 a game, and his pass intercepted in the corner by Pickens. Well done.
Great hustle by Gabe Pickens there. And heads up to just toss it to Juice Mims right away.
No shot attempts so far for Booth. The lob to Ekwe. Couldn't quite corral it, but it's last touched by Samford.
Well, I thought that was actually a pretty good pass. A thing that's hard to get the big guys to do all the time, Adam, is catch the ball with two hands. And unless it's right in the basket, you better go catch it with two hands.
Number 4 in white, Jacoby Osborne in for the first time tonight. Aggies going with Ekwe, Visecht, Pickens, Osborne, and Jones. Here comes Jackson Pollard, the Cedar Hills, Utah native, to replace Faulkner. Visecht on the curl. Corner three fading away. Missed it short. Pickens tracks it down offensive. Just bullied his way to that ball. Lob on top, and Ekwe goes above the cylinder.
Well, he caught it with two hands that time, Adam. Another great pass by Gabe Pickens.
Believe it or not, Augustine Ekwe, only 18 years old, only a freshman. Pick and pop for Pollard. He's 7 of 20 from three. He's a post player who likes to shoot it from the arc. Samford averages 11 made threes per game. It's a high number. They shoot a lot of threes, 35% for the year. Both teams 2 for 3 from deep. Ekwe, the floater, 4 in a row for Augustine Ekwe, 2 helpers in a row for Pickens.
Yeah, just a really smart pass again by Gabe Pickens.
Pallard flips it for Cade Norris, the younger of the 2 Norris brothers. Pallard again, this one's a brick. Good box out Osborne. Pickens runs the point, working that pick and roll game with Ekwe. Fade away mid-range for Pickens. Ekwe got a hand on it, and it's last touched by Augustine Ekwe. Aggies trying to build off that great win last Saturday, won by 8 against rival New Mexico for their 2nd straight win against the Lobos. Meanwhile, Samford looking for their 4th win of the young season. First matchup between these 2 programs since 2016. 5 minutes in, the Aggies 15.5-2, so the second half has been really good for Jamel, and he's averaging 21 a game in his first year in the program. Final year collegiately, Chicago native. Has been a fine addition with New Mexico State trying to go to 4-0 for the first time since 2011-2012. Chris Terrell checked in for New Mexico State during the timeout. Jalen Randall is now in as well. Wilburn loses it. Here comes Randall, a 5-on-4 if New Mexico State hurries. Wilburn is still in the backcourt. Osborne trying to take advantage. Osborne weaving down low, stays on balance and flips it out for Randall. There's the left-handed point guard, Chris Terrell. Jones going to work on Wilburn. Steps through, backdoor to Osborne. Defender gets in the air. Tipped around and out of bounds by Samford. It looks like Cade Norris is still down underneath the basket for Samford. He took a pretty hard spill guarding Osborne. He does get up, and it looks like he is going to be okay. Right here. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, he landed right on his hip. Yeah. He didn't twist anything.
No.
But he'll be good and bruised tomorrow.
Cade Norris goes off. He says he's okay, but he does go off. Cam Martin will come in for him. The Norris brothers so pivotal for the Bulldogs' success. Terrell runs the point. Zone defense here for the Bulldogs. Aggies saw a lot of matchup zone against UNM. Corner 3 for Randall. Missed it short. Weak side rebound, Pallard. Aggies 3 for 18 from 3.5 won last weekend, and then 7 of 14 from 3.5 2. Shot it much better in the final 20. Campbell Finch, dump off inside to Faulkner, and a foul is called from behind. Foul is on Randall. First personal on Randall. Mims returns, comes in for Ekwe. Allard flips it to Cam Martin, the transfer from Long Beach. There's Campbell Finch spinning on Terrell. Straight on 3 for Martin is good. Samford red hot. 3 for 5 from deep. And that is not a good sign for New Mexico State. They have the ability, Russ, to make 14 or 15 threes here tonight if the Aggies let them.
And Martin has an excellent resume. He started a bunch of games at Long Beach State last year.
Jones passes up a 3, slithers in the paint. No too heavy. Grabbed by Pallard again. His second rebound early on. Still no shot attempts for Booth. But it hasn't mattered. Samford takes a lead. Slicing was Campbell Finch, the freshman from Tampa. Let's see if the Aggies can slice through this zone defense for the Bulldogs. Jones looking high post for Osborne. He'll feed him. Osborne a floater, uses glass. Gets it back and sticks it in.
Yeah, he's got that. He's a smart player, and he's got that quick jump.
Faulkner trying to turn the corner. Back to the arc for Campbell Finch. Martin blows by Jones. He's bumped and one. Lead back to Samford with 12:43 left in half one. Russ Martin hasn't done a ton this year, but like you said, at Long Beach a year ago, he was 8 a game as a freshman.
He showed a lot of promise, and look at him there. He takes the hit there, and pretty good. He looked like Jamel Jones, actually. Pretty good body control, and banks it high off the board.
Only 3 points total in the first 6 games for Cam Martin. Out of Montgomery County, Maryland, he has 5 off the bench right now in this game tonight. Not even halfway through half one.
And this is the first time we've seen this little 2-2-1 zone pressure by Samford here.
Lenny Akoff, a veteran head coach, switching things up defensively. Elijah Elliott now in for New Mexico State. He catches on the arc. This is short on the 3. Aggies 2 for 5 from deep. But you'll take that shot though, right? I mean, it's inside-outside with Osborne in the high post. Down the lane is Faulkner. Samford by 3.
Yeah, and I think Jason Hooten's discouraged. I think he felt like Elijah Elliott should have helped out on that one.
Aggies looking high post for Randall. Kicked away by the Bulldogs, and the Aggies will have possession when do we come back. Samford red hot on the road. 7 of 10 from the field. 3 for 5 from 3. They've made each of their previous 4 shots from the field. 1 possession game. Under 12 left. Bulldogs are on a 9-2 scoring run. That was during the recent stretch from the under 16 media to the under 12 media. Bulldogs really switching up defenses on the Aggie offense right now. Wing to wing to Pickens from Elliott. 4 on the timer for Randall. Corner 3 for Jalen Randall, the senior from Detroit.
Pretty good patience by Elijah Elliott, and Gabe Pickens could have both shot that, but Randall had a little better shot.
The Aggies will try to shoot the Bulldogs out of this zone defense they're in. Judson Bjornstad, number 4 in red, now in for the first time for the Bulldogs. A lot of the offense runs through Faulkner, 15 in red. He goes to the rim, misses. Kyrese Mullen now in. He defended right there. Mullen did not play against UNM last weekend. Mullen will try to screen the zone. He can shoot the 3, by the way. His 48 career-made threes. Elliott to Mullen, looking for his 49th. Too strong on the 3. Ripped in by Martin for Samford. Campbell Finch skips it to Bjornstad, who hasn't made a 3 all year. Weak side board for Pickens. Screen from Mullen. Pickens to the rim. Mullen the offensive rebound, and he sticks it in. Kyrese Mullen.
Oh, he's a wide body. He's as wide as my car, Adam. And he's not a great leaper, but he's smart around the basket. Heads up play by Kyrese Mullen.
Only his 2nd made field goal all year. Transfer from Hampton, 15 a game 2 years ago. Randall clears on the miss from Campbell Finch. Randall on a spin. Randall uses the glass. Jalen Randall, great off the bench again.
Yes, and he is not shy, and he's fully confident. He's not hesitant at all.
Bjornstad lost it. Randall went diving for it, and he could not grab it, but they're going to say it is Aggie ball, and Lenny Akoff is going to use a coach's challenge here unless the officials get together before that.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. They've reversed themselves.
So Lenny Akoff doesn't have to use a coach's challenge here. It's the right call.
Yeah, that was the right call.
Good crew tonight. Owen Short, Shane Land, Tucson Gregg, our 3 officials. It was a 9-2 run for the Bulldogs before the media. Now a 7-0 Aggie run since the media. Long 3 for Keaton Norris. Gets rim. And Mims got the rebound. Foul called on Samford. Good minutes here from Kyrie Mullen.
Yeah, did you see Mims, how far off the floor he was? He really got up after that one.
Mullen really using his big body tonight. Senior out of Norfolk in Virginia. In the high post here on offense. And he was 15 and 8 at Hampton 2 years ago. Had 32 in a game at Hampton. High post Mullen spinning. The big fella flips it through left-handed.
Wow. Well, I am so impressed with Kyrie Mullen. You know, he's really, he might be one of those guys who's better when the lights go on and it's game time. Because I think he gets overshadowed in practice sometimes.
Pickens guarding Booth on this end of the floor. Booth trying to find an angle. Long on the 2. Put back try, no good for Will Shaver, the former North Carolina Tar Heel. Elliott brushes off the Mims screen. The lob for Mims, and it's overthrown by Elliott. Probably should have thrown it sooner.
Or maybe shot that one. I was surprised he passed that. That was with the left hand for big Kyrie Mullen.
Anthony Visech back in. Mullen's going to stay in. Akwe back in. Aggies rolling with 2 point guards, essentially, Pickens and Elliott. Visech guarding Booth on this end of the floor. Booth 0 for 1 for the field. First shot attempt came moments ago. Keaton Norris, the point guard, who averages a half dozen assists per game. Wilburn to the rim. Fancy finish for Zion Wilburn.
Well, the Aggies have to recognize it. He's going left every time he gets it. He's a lefty. And that's the 3rd or 4th time he's gone around the Aggies with his left hand.
The Aggies have had success in the high post against this zone. Visech is looking there. Pickens will find Mullen in the mid-post area. Mullen with the left. A half dozen for Kyrie, who only scored 2 in the first 3 games combined this year. Wilburn gets Akwe in the air, and he'll get free throws on the other side. Well, it's the Kyrie Mullen show. Did not play last Saturday. Only had 2 points in the first 2 games before last Saturday. This is a brilliant offensive mind, Lenny Acuff, who's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah, he's a coach's coach. The coaches all know that he's a great coach. You might not hear Dick Vitale yelling about him, but you're hearing us yell about him. And I remember when Casey, when Tennessee's father was trying to figure out what school to send the kid to, he wanted him to go with the best coach that he could find. And that was Lenny Acuff for a year or 2 before he transferred to the Aggies.
Tennessee was drawing up plays when he was a little kid. I think he knew a long time ago he was going to coach someday. Of course, Tennessee now an assistant under Rob Jeter at Southern Utah. It was good to see him back in the Pan Am a year ago. Mid-post Mullen stuffs it to Akwe. Back to Mullen. He was wide open. Mullen sticks it in. Russ, he's going to finish around the cylinder.
Yes. And nice. I thought he could have shot the first one, but he's perfectly willing to pass to somebody else who's open.
He's a really good finisher around the rim, and he can step out and shoot a 3. Shot one earlier. Good to see Kate Norris back in after a hard spill earlier. This is Wilburn in the paint. Verticality from Mullen, and a jump ball is called. Possession stays with Samford. Kyrie Mullen has worked awfully hard to get his body in shape, and Mullen's been in now for about a 5 or 6 minute stretch, and he does not look fatigued one bit. Booth, a fadeaway jumper. That's short. Pickens snatches. Elliott, foul line jumper. That's good for Elijah Elliott.
Well, he's similar to Jamel Jones in that respect. Is when he's really deadly in the mid-range game.
Aggies ahead by 8. Jamel Jones on the bench, still hasn't scored. Wilburn, a corner 3, swirls off, cleared by Akwe. So Booth hasn't scored, he averages 24 a game. Jones hasn't scored, he averages 21 a game. Pickens blocked. He had Mullen open in the corner. Booth, a transition contested 3. He's 0 for 3 now from the field. And every time he catches, Visech is in his face. Faulkner, Wilburn. 3 is good for Zion Wilburn, who has 7. He's really stepping up, only averaging 3.5 a game.
Yeah, he's in Richmond, California, just in the Bay Area, but boy, he's really brought it tonight.
He scored 15 last Friday in a narrow 4-point loss against Arkansas in Fayetteville. Mullen gets the defender in the air. Oh, he's getting creative.
Well, I'm stunned. And I'm delighted for Kyrie's, who doesn't seem to complain, didn't hang his head for the last few games.
Mullen battling for the rebound. He'll snatch it in ahead for Pickens. Ekway turns the corner on Faulkner, and he flips it in. Timeout Bulldogs.
Wow. Great.
Russ, the bench is doing the work. 25 bench points for New Mexico State.
Wow, and it's not, yeah, again, it's not just Kyrie's Mullen. Augustine Ekway's been terrific too.
Russ, I had somebody say to me last Saturday night, they said, did you watch Kyrie's during the game? And I said, well, he didn't play. What do you mean did I watch him during the game? They said, did you watch him on the bench during the game? And I noticed a couple of times he was the first man up cheering. They said his ability down the road is going to shine on the floor. But the way he handled himself on the bench in a game that he didn't play, you can tell he just wants to win.
Yeah, I think that's right. He's pulling for the other guys. He's biding his time, waiting for. And it does take big guys a longer time to get in shape than guards. And with him, he's not just tall, but he's a wide body as well. He's going to take a little rest here now.
Chris Giants used to always warn us about that with Will McNair. He always said big guys will take a little bit longer. Let him get in shape. Paid off with McNair, and right now it's paying off with Kyrie Mullen. Jamel Jones back in the game. He hasn't scored yet, and New Mexico State leads by 9.
And neither is Jaden Booth.
Booth 0 for 3 from the field. Meanwhile, Jamel Jones has only attempted 3 shots as well. He's 0 for 3. Terrell is hounding Campbell Finch, the freshman point from Tampa. And Jones just picked up his second personal. Would you let him play through this right now, or do you have to go back to the bench?
Well,
that discussion is ongoing right now with the Aggie assistants and Jason Hooten.
And here comes Jalen Randall. I just think, he's not. I think Jason Hooten made the right move. He obviously can think on his feet faster than I can. Jamel Jones hasn't been great up to this point. He's not scoring much anyway. Might as well play it safe and have him come through with a dominant second half like he did the last couple of games.
2 fouls now on Jamel Jones. The Aggie bench is shining bright. Mullen, a much-needed breather. Malanga back in. Randall defending the sophomore Cade Norris. Fadeaway jumper. Nice move by Cade Norris. The transfer from Illinois State.
Boy, he's a big, strong guard. One thing the Aggies have done a good job of, Adam, is I thought that Samford would burn the Aggies' back door from time to time, but Jason Hooten has them plenty prepared for that.
Terrell skips it to Mims. Mims trying to step through. He's caught, no call, and he's still. Teardrops it through.
Pretty good body control.
Aggies now shooting 57% from the field. Mullen leading the way, 5 for 6 from the field. Wilburn had it poked by Randall, and a foul is called, reaching in. And on Jalen Randall, that is number 2 on him. So the Aggies have done that immense.
Yeah, the surprise has been Zion Wilburn with a couple baskets, driving hard to the basket, and Keaton North. They've got to be able to control the driver. If they're not going to help on Jaden Booth, it's really up to each individual Aggie to control their own man off the drive.
The Aggies have used multiple defenders on Booth. Right now it's Visech again. Earlier it was Pickens. Close out by Malanga. They tend to shoot for the Bulldogs, shooting 45% in this half. Pollard, a 3 over Malanga, and Mims grabs his 4th rebound, on pace for a double-double tonight. Malanga hands it off to Osborne. Satch made a 3 earlier. coming off a team-high 16 against the Lobos last weekend. Lob to Malanga, and he was pushed by Jackson Powler. That is only team foul number 2 on Samford here in the half.
Well, one of the things that Lenny Acuff does that's really interesting to me is that he's not overplaying and denying all over the court. And in my experience, when teams do that, they're not aggressive the rest of the way. But Lenny Acuff is able to get them to be exceedingly aggressive inside the three-point stripe.
Lob to Malanga. Good find by Visech.
The big guys are just too much for Samford's big. The guards have been impressive for Samford, but the big guys just are not quite up to the Aggies' big guys at this point in the game.
Allard blows by Malanga. Closeout was too aggressive.
Well, I spoke too soon.
Lead back to 9 for New Mexico State.
And the Pollard name is a huge name in Utah basketball, and I have to wonder if he's related to some of the great Pollards that came through that state.
Hard hedge by Pollard. And Malanga couldn't quite catch it, bobbled it. Terrell fighting for it. And that's team foul number 6. Good hustle from Chris Terrell, almost got a steal. The Aggies have done that well all year. Is lobbing up top to the big guys who go and get it. Malanga, Juice Mims, Ekwe, those 3 most notably. Shane Leon, the official, telling Chris Terrell, slow down. They haven't inbounded the ball yet. Chris wants to guard 94 feet as he picks up Campbell Finch in the backcourt. At all of Division II in steals per game a year ago, 3.5 a game. The Aggies go a little bit smaller here. You can against Samford. They usually play with 3 guards, or 4 guards usually. Terrell runs the offense. 2 point guards in with Terrell and Pickens. Top of the key, Mims. Under 2 left here in half 1. It's been a good first half for New Mexico State. A nice little 9-minute stretch here. Visech to the rim, and he's fouled going up. The Aggies will shoot their first free throws of the game with 1:38 left in the opening half. Allard Booth is his first personal. Visech is 6 for 6 coming in. Aggies haven't shot free throws great overall this year, 68% as a squad, but much better against the Lobos, 20 of 26. That was 77% as a team last weekend. Made their throws when they counted down the stretch. Visech gets the friendly bounce here at home. The Aggie lead is back to double figures. Terrell making it tough for Campbell Finch. Campbell Finch trying to turn the corner on Terrell. Terrell won't let him. 10 to shoot. Martin with the ball. Martin down low. His layup is good. Samford kind of hanging around. They led by 3 when it was 17-14, but they trailed by as many as 11. Pickens to the rim. He bounces off the defender, and he did not get fouled. Good verticality by Samford. Backdoor on the baseline to Pollard to a streaking Faulkner who jams it.
Well, that's where the rules have changed a bit since I was coaching at him. Is the defender went straight up on that one, and I think Gabe Pickens was asking for a foul.
I thought I heard a whistle, but nobody stopped playing. They continued on, and Samford took advantage down the other end of the floor as Faulkner scored for the Bulldogs to pull them within 6. Nobody picked up Pollard, and then Faulkner came rumbling down the key. Faulkner, a transfer from Lipscomb, came with Lenny Acuff from Lipscomb to Samford. There's a couple of Lipscomb transfers for the Bulldogs. This is what they've done a couple times this year. This is what they did last Friday against Arkansas. They kind of just hung around. They eventually lost by 4, but they won't go away. They won't go away right here either.
Yes, and to lose by 4 at Arkansas is that's an impressive result. I know Lenny Acuff wasn't happy about that, but that really scared me when I heard that they lost to Arkansas just by 4.
Samford lost by 15 earlier this week, 2 nights ago at home against Florida Gulf Coast. They have 2 overtime wins this year. This is their 5th road game and their 5th game overall in 10 days. They're 3-3, the Aggies 3-0. A lot more practice time for Jason Hooten than Lenny Acuff here in the first couple weeks of the season. About a 10-second difference, game clock, shot clock. Fouls to give for Samford, so Campbell Finch will foul Terrell. Do you agree with this philosophy right here? That's the 4th on Samford, Russ.
If he's just trying to sort of throw a wrench in the Aggie offense, and I think it's smart. Just as long as it's not a guy that we've got to worry about keeping that Samford has to worry about keeping out of foul trouble.
The foul is on Campbell Finch, his first. They're going to take him out of the game now. And they don't foul yet, but they might at some point. Shot clock winding down to 10. Now they're going to foul at midcourt. That is Cam Martin. That's his first. Well, you can do this because there hasn't been many fouls in the half on Samford.
Well, the danger is that if an Aggie can anticipate that and just throw the ball up at the rim when the foul comes, it could be a 2-shot or 3-shot foul here from behind the arc.
And now the shot clock resets, so the shot clock and game clock pretty much dead even. The previous foul was the 5th on Samford. They're going to foul again. That's number 6. This is interesting because before Samford potentially would have had a chance to have another possession on offense. Now they probably won't with the shot clock off. Previous foul was number 6, so now the Bulldogs cannot foul. Terrell, 5 seconds left. Bissett struggles on the catch, throws up a shot. Tip for Mims is in. Counted for Juice. He was on the doorstep, collected the miss, and the Aggies take a bigger lead here at halftime, 40-32.
Well, just really great, very fortunate. Bissett just tossed it up at the basket, and Juice Mims that's one of the things I admire about him. As great a scorer as he is, he lets the game come to him. He doesn't force bad shots.
Here is Jones, mid-post extended, working on Cade Norris, and his fadeaway jumper swirls away. Remember, Jamel did not score in the first half last weekend before scoring 15 and a half, 2. He's averaging 21 a game. He's averaging 14 per game in the second half of games this year. Nearly thrown away. Nice catch by Faulkner. It's good positioning on Malanga. Whips it back to the arc to Cade Norris, who's shallow on his 3. Mims rips in his 5th board. 9 points, 5 rebounds for Juice. Made a 3 out of the gate, and he connects again. A couple for Juice.
Well, maybe that's the time for him to shoot. His first shot can be a 3, and then after that he needs to go inside. Maybe Coach Hooten will change that to the rule.
He's smiling his way down the floor. Norris to Norris. Keaton Norris short on the 3. Malanga tapped it off the backboard, and Mims will get credit for the rebound. Mims all of a sudden a 3-point threat. He's also a post threat. Inside, outside, Bissett. He knocks down the triple.
Well, we talked about it before the game, Adam. He's got a really quick release. He gets into his shot very quickly. I don't think that the Bulldogs were expecting him to shoot that one.
53% from 3 in the first 3 games. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Wilburn was wide open, didn't shoot it. High post Faulkner. Everything runs through number 15 in red. Flips it to Booth, who is still scoreless. Wilburn defended by Mims. He found a crease somehow, and he kept his pivot foot in the process.
Well, he's got that sort of Euro step down.
And Samford just fouled Pickens on purpose in the backcourt. That was Keaton Norris. They wanted to get Campbell Finch in the game.
That's an interesting move.
Yeah, we saw them do that at the end of the first half, but not 2 minutes into the second half. I'm not sure why Keaton Norris had to go off. Here's Pickens. Did not score in the first half, but was really, really good facilitating. Malanga, if he fakes the handoff, it goes to the rim. He has a wide open lane. 5 to shoot for Jones. He's stuffed in the corner, so he maneuvers around Norris, and he floats it in. First points for Jamel. Russ, if Malanga fakes the handoff, the lane's wide open.
Yeah, he's gonna have to start thinking of himself as a threat out there, I think.
Faulkner fouled by Visech, his first. Defense was fine for Cade Norris. The offense better for Jamel Jones. Ekwe coming in for Mims. Malanga going off. And Osborne checks in for him. This is Cade Norris. Campbell Finch, a step-in three. And now Samford ice cold to start the half from distance.
Well, Gabe Pickens hasn't scored yet, Adam, but he's doing everything else.
Pickens back door. Osborne, a slam dunk and a timeout called by Lenny Akoff.
Yeah, this is a new confidence that we're seeing from Gabe Pickens. I think he thinks that he can do what he wants to.
It's offense, Russ, that came in averaging just under 80 a game. They scored 75 last Friday against Arkansas in Fayetteville.
No, this is a extremely well coached Samford team, but it's 5 games in 10 days.
For those games on the road, slipping is Faulkner. That's the first time he's been able to slip and catch. That was a big point of emphasis in practice this week. He was held. Foul on Ekwe. Faulkner really hard to guard. He is a smart big man. Booth still hasn't scored. Cade Norris on the inbound catch. Wilburn weaves in the key, and he scores it, +1 for Wilburn. That's 11 now for Zion Wilburn. He scored 15 against Arkansas, but he was only averaging 3.5 coming in.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore, and he's clever around the basket there. You know, he knows how to use his body and he knows how to use his leverage.
He plays way bigger than 6'5", 190, which is what he is listed as. Aggies saw multiple defenses against the Bulldogs in the first half. Had no issues with it. Some token pressure by Samford. Aggies slide into the front court with Pickens, who has 7 helpers and 4 rebounds. Zone defense again for the Bulldogs. The Aggies were busy in the mid-post against the zone. Here's Osborne. Blocked away by Faulkner. Gets it back. Ekwe shoots it over Faulkner. 8 for Augustine Ekwe.
Well, smart play by Jacoby Osborne. He gets his shot blocked. He could have shot that one again, but Augustine Ekwe had a little better look.
Nobody's blocking that shot. With the 6'9", Ekwe rising up, and he blocks Faulkner on this end of the floor. That's an 18-year-old blocking a junior veteran. Only 2 for Jones. Going to work on Campbell Finch. Shoots it over the smaller defender and drops it in.
And there it is. That's Jamel Jones right there. He does everything well, but that's where he's really deadly.
Campbell Finch spinning on Visech. Best look of the night for Booth. He's 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from deep. Pickens slowing things down, working alongside Ekwe. Aggies will run through Jones. Booth defends. Backing down Booth. Fadeaway jumper. Foul on Booth. Jones gets to the free throw line a ton. He's going to shoot a pair when we come back from commercial break. Jamel Jones with 4.5. Did not score in half one. Had some foul trouble. Aggies have grown their lead to 17, seeking a 4-0.
Skid or two to Zion Wilburn or to Dylan Faulkner, but they've really shut down the guards. I came in really fearing the Norris brothers and Jaden Booth, but they've been able to control them pretty well.
Still no points for Booth, who has scored 21 plus in 5 of the 6 games this year coming in. He scored 34 in the opener in New Orleans against Tulane. And he's probably going to see defensive pressure like this the entire year in the Southern Conference in the SoCon, which is a great mid-major basketball league, by the way. Samford picked 3rd in the SoCon behind Chattanooga and Furman.
And yet, Lenny Acuff, who we just saw, he'll win his 700th game. I'm going to say next year he'll win his 700th college game.
He's approaching 670 between his years as a collegiate head coach. Most recently was at Lipscomb, took them to the NCAA tournament a year ago. Took over for Bucky McMillan at Samford. Bucky went to Texas A&M. The Samford program is coming off 4 straight 20-win seasons, 29 wins 2 years ago. Almost beat Kansas in the NCAA tournament. That shot was altered by Randall. Booth is now 0 for 5 from the field. And Elijah Elliott had some contact there with Isaiah Campbell-Finch. Not a lot of minutes for Elliott tonight, and a big reason why is Pickens is playing more tonight because of his ability to facilitate for his teammates in this game. We haven't seen a ton of Chris Terrell. That depth at the point is awfully good with Terrell, Pickens, and Elliott. And because of that, Jason Hooten at times is playing 2 of those guys together. Martin to the rim. Akwe altered it, went off his head and into the hands of Jamel Jones. Straight on 3, and transition is short for Jamel. Campbell-Finch races down the floor, runs over Elliott. Elliott thought he drew a charge. It's defensive, and free throws are coming up.
It looked like I thought Elijah Elliott just fell, but I guess he bumped him.
Yeah, trounced over a little bit. Foul number 2 on Elliott. 2 free throws for Campbell-Finch. This young man has a bright future. He's only a freshman. He's out of Tampa. He scored 21 off the bench at Texas Southern in Game 3 of the year. Just 5 of 11 for the free throw line. Here comes Kyrie Smolin, and Juice Mims also back in. Osborne and Ekwe going off. Points, 3 rebounds, and only 7 first-half minutes for Mullen. He was a plus 12 in the first half in just 7 minutes. So the Aggies were plus 12 when he was on the floor. The Aggies have done a pretty good job against this zone. Mullen's been a big part of that. Bounces to Mims, stripped away by Pollard. Probably didn't need that extra bounce. Pollard steps back, shoots a 3, shallow. Mims, rebound number 7. Elliott wide open from 3. Campbell-Finch fouled again. If that's on Elliott, that's his 3rd. Yep, that's on Elijah. That's his 3rd personal with 13:20 left. And he was just starting to get rolling here. Let's see if the Aggies keep him in or if they go back to Pickens. It's going to be Pickens again. There are so many weapons, and Elliott's a large part of that. He was great down the stretch last weekend, scoring 11 against the Lobos. But he's in some foul trouble right now in half 2.
Yeah, he's fearless when he's open. He doesn't take bad shots either. And it's really, really great that the Aggies can bring a scorer like that off the bench.
Here comes Will Shaver. Started his career at North Carolina, then he went to UAB, and now he's with the Bulldogs. He's from Birmingham. Mullen, Mims, Pickens, Jones, and Randall for the Aggies on offense, ahead by 19.
Samford back to the 2-3 zone here.
Good pass, Randall. Mullen shoves it to Mims, and he puts it in.
They work pretty well together. Is that what you were going to say?
Well, I was going to say the post passing's really good,
yes,
Russ.
Yes.
And if you want to have success against a zone in the mid post or the high post, you need good post passers, and the Aggies have that. As Martin answers with a 3. That's probably an underrated part of Mullen's game is he has good vision, good decision making for a post player. He hangs out here at the foul line. Mullen down the key, rumbles in there, he misses, but it's tipped out to Mims. Mims will penetrate the zone. That's Jones who misfires in the mid-range. (61-43) with 12:10 left here in half 2. Step back 3, Campbell Finch. Back rim no good. Pickens was trying to tip it. 3 again for Campbell Finch is no good. And a foul is called on Pickens, who was battling with the 6'7" Pollard for the rebound. Pickens was trying to box him out, and he gets called for. The major differential again. 7 Aggie fouls, only 2 on the Bulldogs in this half. Bulldogs in the bonus now. 1-1 for Pollard. Russ, with their ability, Samford's ability to shoot the 3, they could shoot their way back in there.
Yeah,
so this one is far from over.
Absolutely. I mean, Jaden Booth he's down, but he's not out yet.
Booth back on the bench for Samford. We haven't seen Keaton Norris for a while for the Bulldogs. Pickens, Mullen, Randall, Mims, and Visech for the Aggie offense right here. Aggies 6 for 11 from 3. Mullen on the baseline to Mims. The Aggies are making a living in the interior right now. 16 for Juice.
Well, one thing, a big Lou Henson standard was you had to attack the zone by going through the high post. And boy, the Aggies are doing a great job of that tonight. And particularly Kyrese Mullins. Oh, that's a trouble.
It's an offensive foul on Samford. It's on Shaver before Bjornstad slips. Ball back to the Aggies when we come back. They've led by as many as 21 in this half. Led by Juice Mims, 16-8 for Juice. The field, 74%.
Wow.
Since the midway part of half 1.
Wow. And with Samford 1 for 9 from the 3 this half. Just things are really going the Aggies' way here. But there's plenty of time left, and there's some really good shooters. Now, Samford trying something different here. Lenny Acuff trying everything. They're going to go, looks like they're going to go a little 1-3-1. Yeah, it's a 1-3-1 half. Well, it's not really a half-court trap.
Randall back out for Pickens. Randall wide open, wing 3. Aggies 7 of 12 from 3. They were 7 of 14 from 3 in half 2 last weekend. 3 is too deep for Kate Norris, but an offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. A defense initially by Visech, and then Martin found an opening and flips it in. Jason Hooten telling Anthony Visech he's going left every time. Cut it off. Randall, top of the key. He's had a good shooting night. 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Mid-post extended. The big fella Mullen going to work on Bjornstad. Left, missed it short. He's missed a couple of times up close here in this half. Norris looking for an angle, kick out, corner three, back rim no good for Martin, but another offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. That's their 5th in the game, a lot of those coming in this half. Bjornstad passes it up, dribble drive, shoots it over Randall, good box out by Mullen, snagged by Mims, who's a rebound shy of a double-double. To the rim is Randall, and a foul is called on Bjornstad from behind.
Well, Jalen Randall's angry at himself for not finishing that. Normally he would make that one.
There wasn't a whole lot of contact there. He did get fouled, but there wasn't much. 8 points tonight for Randall, 3 rebounds as well. Smooth stroke, senior out of Detroit. He transferred in from former Division II power, now a D1, Southern Indiana. Good for a long, long time under Bruce Pearl. Rodney Watson was the head coach for a while for the Screaming Eagles. Randall makes both. Lead back to 21, matches the biggest lead tonight. Martin runs the point. Booth is still scoreless. There's Pallard in the paint. Picks up his dribble, leaves it on the arc to Bjornstad. Pick and pop for Pallard. Steps back. 6 to shoot. Great defensive possession. Martin goes to his left again. Jason Hooten is telling the Aggies he goes to his left every time. He scores again. Easier said than done, right? Still a 19-point Aggie lead. Plus 11 here in this half. Pickens bounces to Ekwe. 2 defenders there. Ekwe turns and misses shallow. Pallard to burst into the key. His finger roll swirls off. Ekwe battling for it. Diving for it. Pulled in by the Bulldogs. Aggies scattered defensively as Booth knocks down the tray for his first points of the game at the 8:40 mark. That 3 could give Samford some life right there. That is his 32nd made 3 this year. 5 makes per game, which leads the country. Randall a step back 3. It's an air ball. And Jason Hooten, of course, did not like that shot selection from Jalen Randall.
I just think the Aggies can, nor I think Jalen Randall knows it. He's nodding his head. He's played well up to that point. That wasn't a great decision by him. He's about to make it up here, I can tell.
Chris Terrell's about to check in at the next dead ball. Media timeout approaching as well. A lot of minutes at the point for Pickens in this game. We haven't seen a ton of Terrell. Booth out of screen, still with the ball. Setched, excellent defense. Campbell Finch, 5 on the timer. 3 for Martin. Defensive rebound, Pickens. That's his 5th. Pickens, hard move to the rim, and he's bailed out underneath. Got too deep. He's bailed out by the Bulldogs, and that will send us to the under 8 media. Samford trying to make a game of it. Aggies haven't scored in 2:10, but they lead by 16, seeking a 4-0 start here tonight inside the Pan Am. We send continued well wishes and prayers to Ray Silva and his family. Big Aggie fan as he continues his battle with cancer. First free throw good for Pickens. That's the first point for Pickens, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't tell the whole story. 6 rebounds, that ties his career high. 8 assists, which is a new career high. He'll take a breather, and Chris Terrell's back in. The Aggies bringing a fresh body. A nice luxury to have for Jason Hooten this year. And of course, Terrell's picking up 94 feet. All over Campbell Finch. Backdoor catch for Faulkner. Tough angle. Faulkner pushed off Arnakwe. He had one hand shoving off Arnakwe, and I think Augustine's going to be the one who gets whistled here.
I couldn't tell if Dylan Faulkner was trying to keep his balance, or if he was pushing against Ekwe.
It's the third on Ekwe. If you watch film on Samford, Faulkner in particular, slipping screens, going backdoor, he beats a lot of opponents, and the Aggies haven't allowed that very much tonight. And follow the scout at a pretty high level. New assistant Nick Matson, former Texas assistant under Jason Hooten's good friend Rodney Terry, had the scout tonight, and you could tell the Aggies were very well prepared. Terrell, he's scoreless in the game, hasn't played much though. Terrell, scoreless no longer. He can score, you know it. 21 a game last year at D2.
Well, he's 5'11" or 6 feet, but he's got long arms, and I think he's the quickest Aggie.
Campbell Finch. Now Wilburn guarded by Terrell in the corner. This match here, Ekwe defends the speedy Campbell Finch. And his jumper rims in. The Aggies had a switch earlier in that play, and Samford takes advantage. It's been all Aggies tonight. Samford led for 90 seconds in the first half, but it was brief. Aggies had led by as many as 21. Setch struggles with the catch. Reset with Terrell. 10 left to shoot. Terrell to Ekwe. Ekwe, sky hook again. And it goes off the leg of Martin. And the Aggies will keep it on the end line.
Heads up play by Jacoby Osborne to keep that in play.
Pollard coming back in for Samford, comes in for Faulkner. We haven't seen Keaton Norris since the 18-minute mark of this half. He left the game early in this second half, hasn't returned yet. That's off the leg of Ekwe. Good play by Pollard. It was kind of a peculiar play, too, when Keaton Norris left Russ, because he fouled an Aggie on purpose 90 feet away from the hoop. They took him out. He was told to foul on purpose, and he hasn't come back in, but it doesn't seem like he's injured or anything. He's been hanging out of the bench. Isn't showing any signs of pain. Janelle Jones comes in for Randall. This has just been a brutal stretch of games for Samford with Lenny Akoff, their 5th game in 10 days. We've said that a bunch because you have to emphasize that. They're going to win a lot of games in the SoCon this year for sure. Backdoor, help defense from Osborne. We haven't said that much, Russ. We talked about that a little bit ago. The Aggies have not been beat backdoor very often during this game.
And that's one of the marks of Lenny Akoff's team. They're very smart going backdoor and making you pay for any kind of overextension on defense.
And this will probably prompt Elijah Elliott to come in for Chris Terrell. He was beat backdoor by Campbell Finch, who took a hard spill, and it looks like he is okay. I think he bothered his wrist on the spill. Elliott in for Terrell. And this point guard depth, Russ, we talk about it often. It is on full display. It is a battle, not just in games for minutes. This is a daily battle in practice for minutes.
Well, it's obviously paying off, the competition in practice, because they seem to all be clicking in the backcourt.
We never got to see Chris Terrell live, of course, a year ago at Division II Delta State, but I have to think Chris Terrell is a way better player right now because he's had to go up against Gabe Pickens daily in practice the last 3 or 4 months.
That's right, and even what he just did on that last play, taking it to the basket against bigger guys.
Elliott weaving back on the arc to Osborne. Flips it to Jones. Only has 6 in the game. Aggies are paced by Mims with 16. 10 apiece for Mullen and Randall. Step back 3 for Elijah Elliott is left short. Osborne got a hand on it. And it's grabbed by the Bulldogs and Wilburn. Wilburn maneuvers around Osborne. And a foul is called. Some more free throws coming up. That will put the Bulldogs in the double bonus the rest of the way.
I think they called that on Juice Mims.
Yeah, Mims wasn't anywhere near the play, but the Aggies won't argue because it's only his first. That should not have been on Mims. I think he knows it, but he won't say anything. One more for the left-hander, Wilburn. It's 1 out of 2. This one's still far from over. Samford can shoot it from 3. They haven't shown that tonight, 6 of 27, but they can get hot in a hurry. Elliott will slow it down, use some clock. Jason Hooten calls out the play. Elliott with 5 off the bench. Gesatched with 7. Bulldogs back in that zone defense. Around the arc it goes. 4 on the timer. Jones, 10 feet away, drops it through. Jamel has 8. On the flip, here's Cade Norris, the transfer from Illinois State. In the corner to Martin, he splashes in a 3. This has been a breakout game for that young man who has 17. He was scoreless in 5 of the 6 games coming in, but he scored a lot last year at Long Beach.
Well, I wonder if he was sick early in the year, had a bad ankle or something, because he's certainly turning it on tonight.
3 points total in the first 6 games for number 10 in red, Cam Martin. You wouldn't know it, and this is a good sign going forward for Samford. There's some help for Booth. I mean, Booth was scoring 24 to 78 per game for Samford. He only has 3 in the game, but other guys have really stepped up, Martin and Wilburn in particular.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good Samford team. They're not huge, but they're smart. They play well together. The Aggies wouldn't want to see a well-rested Samford team.
Most nights you're going to get way more production from Booth, the Norris brothers, and Faulkner. That hasn't been there tonight. But the bench for Samford's been pretty good. 32 off the bench for Samford, 39 bench points for New Mexico State in the game. And now it's a 14-point game. This is the closest Samford's been in quite some time. Lead was as high as 21 5 minutes ago. Aggies led by 8 at halftime. They are +6 in half 2. High post Jones, and he hits the jumper. Double digits for Jones, and Lenny Acuff throws his hands in the air. Cade Norris on the bounce. Fade away over Jamel Jones. Rebound number 9 for Juice Mims. 1 board shy of a double-double. Another double-digit effort in half 2 for Jamel Jones. 10 points in this half after none in half 1. Media timeout coming up next. Dead ball. Mims comes out with 7 to shoot for the ball screen. Gesatched a straight-on 3. Swirls off. Pretty good look. Gesatched all over Booth on the catch. Booth finds an angle. Bank shot short. Mims the rebound. Double-double for Juice. Rebound number 10. Jason Hooten using clock again with 3:20 left. Watch out for Jones. The Aggies run him off a screen from Mims. Elliott pump fakes. Jones calling for it. 4 to shoot for Jones. A wing contested 3, got rim. Long rebound collected by Booth. Pollard bumped. Foul number 2 on Mims. Juice Mims hasn't missed a shot tonight. 16 points, 7 of 7 from the field. 2 for 2 from 3. And now 10 rebounds for Mims. Aggies lead by an Aggie. The Aggies have really carved up the Bulldog zone. And a big part of that has been Mims, Ekwe, and Kyrie Smolin. Russ, we talked last weekend about learning more about this team. Have you learned more about this Aggie team here in Game 4 tonight?
Well, for one thing, Kyrie Smolin is a lot better than I thought he was. You know, he doesn't always show well at practice. Because there's just a big crowd of big guys up front, and he didn't always show well at practice. He's much better than I thought he was. I think he can really help the Aggies this year, and just the emergence of Gabe Pickens. I think it's a great combination. Chris Trill is so quick and such a great defender. Gabe Pickens can really see the floor and run the team. It's just a great luxury for Jason Hooten to have 2 terrific point guards like that.
11 different Aggies have played. 11 Aggies have scored in this game. Pickens, the lob, that's too high for Mims. Timing wasn't there. Push ahead for Martin. Smothered by 2 Aggies, and that's blocked out of bounds by Brissett. Yeah, Pickens has kind of just been off the mark a couple of times, throwing lobs to Juice. Jason Hooten has called Juice Mims the most athletic player he's ever coached, and that's saying something.
That's saying
Jason's
a lot.
Been around the game for a while. Hand off to Cade Norris, operates on the baseline, bounces to Bjornstad, his jumper short. Jones defending down low, and slipping it through is Caleb Harrison, redshirt freshman from Huntsville, Alabama, who just came in for the first time tonight. Not over yet. Aggie lead down to 12. Elliott to Jones. Pull-up jumper wide open, maybe too wide open. Here come the Bulldogs trying to make it single figures potentially. Harrison should be fresh. Didn't play until now.
Jason Hooten will take a timeout here if Samford scores, I'll bet.
Cade Norris leaves it short. In for Norris, +1. And this one feels a little too close for comfort now with 95 seconds left. Aggies haven't scored in 2:45. Samford on a 6-0 run with 1 free throw coming up for Cade Norris. They went scoreless Wednesday against Florida Gulf Coast. There's 5 tonight. Scored a season-high 15 last Friday against Arkansas, and now Bulldogs will press. The set to Elliott, who made the free throws down the stretch against New Mexico. That was only team foul number 6. Elliott likely the guy you want the ball in the hands. Him or Pickens. Elliott 6 for 8 down the stretch from the line against UNM. Bulldogs for now are going to let this play out. They haven't fouled anybody yet. Pickens cross court to Elliott. I don't think Samford played that out the way they wanted to. They eventually foul Elliott, but some time was taken off the clock, and that's precious for Samford right now. Could have fouled Elliott much earlier in that possession. One and one for Elliott, 7 for 10 this year. Grad transfer from Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. He's out of Houston. That breaks a 3-0-3 scoreless drought. And Elliott gets one out of 2. Pulled in by Wilburn. 10-point game, 1:12 left. Booth not even on the floor right now for Samford. 3 for Cade Norris. He has 6 on the previous 2 possessions. And Norris trims the Aggie lead to 7. And Booth isn't even in the game right now for Samford.
Although we might not have seen the end of Jaden Booth. But yeah, this is a little too close to for comfort here. And the Aggies have sort of frittered things away a little bit.
And I think we're still at the point of the year where Jason Hooten is trying to figure out who do you want in the game in the final minute trying to seal a win, right? I mean, we've seen different combinations game to game, so we'll see what he chooses here in the final minute 02. We could tell last weekend he really trusted Elijah Elliott down the stretch.
Yes, and Elijah Elliott's in again. Jaden Booth just checked in for the Bulldogs.
He could get back-to-back threes for us in a matter of 10, 15 seconds.
Well,
that's why this one is far from over, and we've said that the entire game.
And also, you know, Lenny Acuff has played 4 or 5 different defenses tonight, and I wonder if he'll put someone on the ball right now, a full court zone pressure, full court man-to-man pressure.
Martin with 4 fouls for Samford, 4 fouls on Elliott for New Mexico State. 3 on Ekwe. Nobody else has more than 2 either side. Aggies going with Elliott, Pickens, Randall, Mims, and the inbounder is Desetched.
If the Aggies get the ball past half court, I'll bet Samford will immediately foul. They're going to try and get an 8-second count here, and if they can't get it, they'll foul.
Aggies with 3 timeouts left. Samford has none. And Pickens fouled in the backcourt. Took a couple seconds off. Well, that could loom large, too. Samford does not have any timeouts left, so everything they do could have to be ad-libbed the rest of the way. Can't draw anything up. And Martin just fouled out. That's a big loss because he's had a good night. 17 to pace. All scorers for Cam Martin, who's done after picking up his 5th. I think he was one of the guys who fouled on purpose down the stretch in the first half as well, Russ. I think he was one of the Samford Bulldogs that did that.
Yeah, well, he did what was needed at the time.
1-1 for Pickens. He makes the first one. Pickens 3 for 3 tonight. 10 for 11 for the year. Another 1 for 2 trip, but the Aggies keep the possession alive. And now they could make this a 3-point possession. Still 1-1.
Well, as good as Gabe Pickens has been tonight, and he's got 8 assists and no turnovers. He's going to have to make free throws down the stretch. It's just crucial when you're the ball handler. If you get fouled, you've got to be able to step up and make free throws with the game on the line. And I'm confident Gabe can do that.
Sample size too small right now to really figure out who the best free throw shooters are, but statistically it's been Elliott and Pickens, awfully good. Elliott now 3 for 4 down the stretch. Double bonus both ways. Cade Norris, 6 points in the previous 2 trips for Samford. Ball is in his hands. Desetched won't let Booth catch it. This is a long possession for the Bulldogs. Low pass to Pollard. Booth will catch. Contested 3 over Desetched. Rebound for Mims. And a foul is called on Samford. At first I thought maybe the official signaled held ball. Samford thought it should have been a held ball. Lenny Acuff can't believe it. The foul is on Cade Norris.
I thought Julius Mims had called timeout, but he didn't.
2 free throws the rest of the way. First free throw attempts for Mims in the game. He's made every shot he's taken. 7 for 7 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. And now his first free throw attempt coming up right here.
Well, you jinxed him.
I had to give the numbers, Russ.
Yeah, that's true. No, but he's got 16 points on 7 shots. That's pretty efficient for Juice Mims.
Just over 50% from the free throw line during his career. It's 1 out of 2. Lead grows to 11. Samford got it down to 7. The Aggies not letting them get any closer. Wilburn bumped in the back by Mims. Third foul on Juice. 25 seconds left. Those two teams will make that long trip to Cancun this weekend. Aggies will leave Sunday. I would assume Samford probably leaves tomorrow for Cancun. The Aggies will not be back at home until December 21st. On the road for 5 in a row coming up. The opponents in Cancun for Samford, Georgia State, and Utah Valley. The Aggies will have UC Irvine and Georgia State. I would have liked a Utah Valley matchup for the Aggies for the old WAC days.
Not me. I've seen when Dick Hunsaker would bring those teams in, and Mark Madsen. I've seen enough Utah Valley.
Elliott might have been fouled a couple of times, and now Samford will pull back, and they won't foul again. Aggies are 4-0 for the first time since 2011-2012. And Russ, it is starting to feel like the old days.
Well, and turned out to be a really good game.
Quality win against a quality mid-major. Samford coming off 4 straight 20-win seasons. They almost beat Arkansas last Friday. Behind a double-double from Juice, the Aggies win 81-72. 17 points, 11 rebounds for Mims. Jalen Randall scored 10. Kyrie Smolin had 10. He had a great first half. 10 for Jamel Jones, all in half two, and the Aggies shot 54% from the field. They were hovering around 60% for a good while. Made their free throws down the stretch again.